Hello, hello. Let me double check my mic and camera here real quick. Audio looks good. All right. I trust everybody can hear me okay. Happy Monday. It's been a crazy weekend, crazy summer, crazy year, 2020 so far. So we are 48 hours into returning home from our 6-week grandkid vacation. And we announced at some point during that vacation that we had put our house up for sale right before we left. And a few days after we left, we got an offer before it actually went live on the market. The realtor was still in process of taking the outside pictures. So right before we left, they took the inside pictures. We were still having our roof done and some gutter work done, and it wasn't done yet. So they didn't take the outside pictures. So she was waiting until we got those pictures to put it on the MLS listing. And lo and behold, she went ahead and put a coming soon sign outside. Somebody had called, asked when it was going to go on the market, asked if they could see some pictures of it. She sent them the inside pictures, and they made a offer 10% over the asking price. So we accepted. About 3 or 4 days into our vacation, we accepted. We negotiated a little bit longer period before closing. So we had about 6 weeks to close instead of the normal 3 to 4 weeks for closing. But we close next Wednesday. Next Wednesday we close. So we are 8 days away from the moving help that's going to show up here and help us move some of our stuff into storage. Chris and I moved a lot, and we usually move ourselves. We had a couple of corporate moves where they moved us, which were really nice. And at that point, we had kids at home and lots of heavy furniture. And this time we don't have much, but we do have a few heavy items that we just don't want to carry. So I booked a few hours of moving help, basically to load it in the truck, and then a couple hours of moving help to unload it into the storage unit. So we'll just rent the truck, probably a 20-foot truck or something like that. I doubt we're going to need that much, so we'll see how it goes. But hello, Brad and Diane, from It's About Time Now, and Brian from B&D Crafts. Thanks for coming on over. So I'm going to give you an update because it's been crazy since we got home. We ended our vacation. We did a live the very first day, about 12 hours in. We got home, let's see, on Friday at around 1 p.m., and I did a live on Saturday around 3 p.m. and updated you on where we stood. So yesterday and Saturday was a very busy day. Yes, Priscilla is pacing behind me. She's interested in what's next. She knows all these people are coming and taking stuff of our house, and she's not sure where we're going yet. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, girlie. Hi there. She's a sweetheart. So let's see. We've sold quite a bit of things. I'll walk through the house and share that information with you. If you weren't on the first live, we're not only selling stuff from our house, but we sold a few things from our motorhome. So Chris is over at the motorhome right now. We've got parked at a school, which is about 3 blocks away, because you can't take the slides out on these city roads. And so she's got it parked in the parking lot so we can take the slides out. So if you weren't aware we were selling the house, let me recap that real quick. So we had this house for 6 years. We've Airbnb'd it the last 2 years, about 80% of the time while we've been traveling. And it's been going fantastic. We never had any problems with Airbnb, made a lot of money. But most recently, there was really 3 main things. One was the biggest driver. I'll give you the smaller ones first. One, traveling 80% of the time, but coming home for a week here and there, Chris had to unload and reload the motorhome with stuff, each time. Some things we could leave there, but a lot of things we were moving in and moving out. Because we live in the city, you can't just pull it right into your driveway and load it, unload it. So we decided that, maybe some property where we could have an RV pad and then build a pole barn house or something like that would be good. I see that, Bruce. Need a new fridge. No, actually, the people that are buying it asked for the fridge and purchased the fridge. So that's staying, but it is a nice fridge. Okay, so that was number one. Number one was just the hassle of moving in and moving out. So if you have no house, you don't have to move in and move out. So sell the house. Now we're just in the RV until we do find that property. Number two reason was kind of being closer to some of the family, I guess, was some number two reason. But that, that one's still kind of, I guess, third priority. Really, the main reason we're selling is because we're concerned with metropolitan areas in the U.S. We've been in St. Louis for 6 years, and this is the fourth round of violent protests. This one had nothing to do, in my opinion, with St. Louis, of course, but obviously it's social unrest all across the U.S. But I don't necessarily disagree with social happiness and diversity. That's why we moved to the city, was for that diversity. But I totally disagree with violence and destruction of property, hurting people, intimidating people, bullying people. And I feel like that's going to also lower home prices. So unfortunately, we're worried about the home prices, and more so, I was worried about Chris's safety when I do travel for work. We never have been real big gun owners. We've never been against guns. We've just never hunted or, really did much with guns. We did some skeet shooting now and then with some friends, but we just borrow their guns. But we went out and bought handgun so Chris could have something when I was going out of town. And just living in fear like that was not optimal. And that, along with feeling like house values may drop if this continues, and we don't really see an end in sight. I'm not sure what the goal is. So a goal that's unachievable will just continue to have the chaos going on. So we're going to find our own peaceful prosperity. We'll do what we can as we travel for diversity and goodness for the environment, but definitely don't want to be a part of this craziness that's going on. So we sold the house, and now we're going to be in the RV. And as I said, we're going to look for some property. Start with Tennessee, but we also love some things out west. So in doing that, since we're going to be full-time in the RV, there was some things that Chris wanted to do to make the RV a little bit more livable, if you will. And one of those things was the TV is right in front of the captain's chair. So we're moving the TV over to where the dinette was, taking the dinette out and putting in some theater seating. So we've already got some of that done. We've already sold the dinette and the jackknife couch. Chris purchased the table, installed the table. It's a flip down table. So it's there in the dinette area, it flips down. So when we're traveling, the dog bed can go there. It's nice open space, not taken up by all that dinette seating and table. And then she's also painting and putting some panel boarding up for decoration. And then on the other side, she'll be ordering that furniture probably this week. And once we get that in, it's not only the theater seating, but also the captain's chair and the co-pilot chair. We'll be selling our old captain's chair and co-pilot chair. So if you're interested in the captain's chair or co-pilot chair for Class A, let us know. We may be able to work it out. I know Aaron Jemison is also interested, so he'll probably get first shot if he wants it. He's a good friend of ours. And so that's what we're selling for the most part from the RV. I don't think there's really anything else from the RV, but that's fun. We're getting some footage of that as we change it, and we'll show some pictures of that and do a tour of that. Now, here at the house, we've sold a lot of stuff. We still have quite a bit of stuff left. We're still sorting and packing and selling as we go through. But I'll switch over and kind of give you a quick tour and show you some of the things that are left. And if you're interested in anything, let us know. We are selling things very cheaply or giving them away. Obviously, if you're not in the area or we're not going to cross paths, we may be able to ship them to you. Obviously, we would ask for some help with shipping costs or coverage of shipping costs there. All right, so let me switch over here to my remote camera, and we'll give you a quick tour. All right, hopefully you can hear me at this point. Let's start in the front room where we started yesterday. So You can see it's raining outside, so it's been so hot outside, and the temperature just dropped, and it's caused the windows to fog up quite a bit. And it's raining and very humid here today. Priscilla's found herself a nice spot there by the door. Pretty much everything in here is done. So this room, this front room, we had a couch. It's sold. We had some end tables and a coffee table. The people that purchased the house purchased those. We have another table here and 2 lamps. Those are purchased. Somebody's picking those up at 12:30 today. These chairs are probably for sale. I'm not sure. Those are chairs that Chris made. They're coffee bag chairs, actually stools. They don't have a back to them. I'm not sure if she's listed those or sold them not. I forgot we even had them. So those will probably be listed pretty shortly. I think these 2 things, the table and the shelf, are not going. And this unit is staying here, or not staying here, but going into storage as well. This is the stuff that I've packed up. That's really going in the RV. My clothes and my music studio stuff. I've downsized it tremendously. We've got a few things that are going to go into storage for now over here as well. So this is kind of storage area. This is going into the RV area. And then over here is still some donate area. So pretty much everything in here is gone. So in the kitchen, she's got to go through the kitchen still. There's going to be a lot of kitchen utensils and small appliances and stuff like that that's going to go. The table stays. The people that purchased the house bought it. So that helped us out quite a bit. All appliances stay as well. Chris's grinders that she has here are gonna go into storage. She's not getting rid of her grinders. We do have a nice blender here. This blender was from her coffee shop. It's for sale. So I'm not sure how much she has listed on that. She might just be listing it today. So once again, Christina Decker Solomon is the Facebook page that you can go see where she's listing. I'll probably also be sharing them on my page. And if I can, I'm not sure if you can share marketplace stuff out to Pause and Effects page, but I'll give that a try as well. All right, so that's really everything here on the main two rooms of the main floor. So we're pretty good. Now, if you were on here on Saturday, we still had a full bedroom set, TV, end tables, all of it sold. So this whole room's been emptied and sold. This is one of the guest rooms. This is the other guest room. Everything that she was selling out of here has been sold. We're keeping the armoire. Chris refinished that, refurbished it. She likes it. It's kind of a one-of-a-kind piece. She's keeping the lights and the sign, which she also made. She's pretty handy. The bed is for sale, but it's our last bed. So if we sell that, I guess we'll be sleeping on the couch downstairs. So it's going well. Let's go upstairs. So we had a couple of end tables and a king-size bed in here, and that sold yesterday. So they didn't want the headboard, so we've still got the headboard to sell. I'm not sure if Chris is keeping these lights also. I imagine she will. She made those. Let's see. This storage over here is our keepsakes and collectibles that I've went through. Those are mine, mostly mine. Some of them are family pictures and stuff like that. So those will all go in storage. This stuff is selling. So if you're into music, I've got a few things. A guitar effects pedal, small bass guitar, some stands. Let's see. One other thing that I was going to show people. Do I have it in here? Here we go. All right. So I'm not sure those of you that are doing YouTube, but this is a gimbal. I'll take it out when we get downstairs. If somebody's interested in it, this is the Smove, S-M-O-V-E gimbal. I'm using a different one right now that I have in my hand. It's called the Cinema Robot, iMovie Cinema Robot. And I like it better than this one. Although this one's got a tripod, it can extend a little bit further than the one I'm holding in my hand. I just like the smoothness of the Cinema Robot that I have instead of this. So the dressers, this dresser is going to go into storage. This dresser is going to be sold. So we only have one thing to be sold from this room still, the dresser, and then the music equipment also. And Chris hasn't really even touched this room. So this is the office. We'll be selling a small file cabinet, paper shredder, We're going to leave this desk here. It's just too big to try to get down those stairs, but we'll be selling these two stools and chairs. So we're making huge progress. You see, there's not a whole lot left to sell. The other thing I'll show some people here from YouTube land that people might be interested in is a nice camera bag. And I'll also show you Presley's nice sleeping area. And feel free to ask questions as you see stuff, or ask if we have something I might not show you. I'll get back to the questions as soon as I get back to the computer. Camera bag. So I've got a nice camera bag here. If anybody needs a camera bag, I've got it listed for $10. For the YouTube community, I'm sure we could work something out on shipping if you need a camera bag. If you want the camera bag and the gimbal, we can definitely work out a good deal. All right, let's go downstairs. That's the last piece. So that's a snowboard bag. We've got two of those. We're keeping those in storage because we may take a trip to the cold weather again sometime and do some snowboarding. So we'll put those in storage. This is a arcade machine, retro arcade machine. That's the anniversary gift. So we'll put that in storage. Chris likes record albums, so we'll also put this in storage. And then we've got a Blu-ray DVD player we were keeping that we're going to put in the RV. A couple stools that get sold. This TV, 50-inch TV is being sold, and this surround system, Polk surround system, needs to be sold. The couch is staying here, but I think the coffee table is going to be for sale. Obviously, those items would be more difficult to ship. And honestly, I think that's just about everything. We've emptied out the electric equipment in here. The washer and dryer stay. The espresso machine and grinder are for sale, but if they don't sell, we're going to put them in storage. Besides the lawnmower and a few things out in the garage, that's it, guys. We're making huge progress. So I'll go ahead and go up here and see if anybody's back on the computer, and I'll see you there in just a moment. All right. Let's see what we have here. We have done a lot of work in progress. It's about time now. Hey, Griswold, thanks for coming in. We're just updating people on where we sit with our finally going fully full-time. Wasn't really a plan. We were really enjoying the 80% travel and then being back home. As we said before, back in March, April, when this pandemic hit, we were glad to have a home base to go during it. And that was until all these riots broke out. Now we'll find a home base that's property somewhere that would give us a place to go to, but we're not in a rush. We're not going to get in a rush. We're looking for property, 5 acres, 10 acres, 15, 20 acres, somewhere in that range. With a creek or two on it, at least one nice crystal clear creek or river, could be a small river. Not in flood areas, of course, which that makes it a little bit more difficult to find. And usually those are in areas that have a little bit more terrain or mountainy areas where they have nice clear creeks that flow through, but they don't flood because the water moves out. They're not slow moving where they have a tendency to flood more often. And so that's what we're going to be looking for. Let's see. Anything else here? I don't see anything in the chat. Has anybody else that's watching, has anybody else sold everything? Do you have any tips? Do you have any horror stories that you want to share? We're going to be going live and updating every day or two on what is going on with us. But we'd love to invite some of you to come on and have a conversation with us about your plans to go full-time. If you've already went full-time, some of the things you went through. It's about time now. Yeah. I read something. Hi, Ange. How you doing? Thrifty Angela. I read something recently about, well, it wasn't based on fact. It was basically a prediction. It was a prediction from somebody that I think they were on Wall Street that mentioned this will be the largest exodus from metropolitan areas to rural areas. But they didn't say anything about the riots being the cause of it. They said just the COVID piece being the cause of it and people having trouble getting supplies in larger areas. Honestly, that might be a part of it, but that didn't bother me. I was in a metropolitan area during that time, and I wasn't looking to move just because of the pandemic. It wasn't until the riots, the rioting and insanity that's going on right now with how violent the riots have got. I don't even want to call them protests because they're not demonstrations and protests for the most part. They might start out that way, but they're all laden with most of them have been laden with violence of some sort, bullying, blocking people, interrupting people's lives, and not a nice way. It's definitely is not something that we want to be a part of anymore. So I don't think you'll see us ever moving close to a large metropolitan area. I actually like the small airports. Might have to connect a little bit more, but the in and out is very quick at small airports. So we'll look at property that's within 45 minutes to an hour from a small regional airport, probably. And the Carolinas are nice. If we didn't want to stay so close to family, we're trying to stay within a couple hours of our where our grandkids are, where some of our grandkids are, and that's kind of keeping us from looking at some of the areas we really want to look in, which would be North Carolina, Pigeon Forge area, going a little bit farther east, or going way west to like Montana, Utah, Washington. Those are really our favorite areas out there, but it's just so far away from grandkids. We're not going to most likely buy our permanent property out there. We may buy a small piece of property out there for like RVing, or more likely we'll do work camping. So we will do some work camping in Montana. Actually, we've already got booked next July, our work camping for 3 months in Montana, July, August, September, and the hottest months. So we don't want to be in the Midwest here during those, like today or yesterday, it was 105 degrees on the index and 96 degrees real temperature. So it's just nasty. You don't even want to ride motorcycles in that type of heat. Hi, James and Susan. Thanks for coming in. Let's see here. We have closed up our parents' homes when they passed, and donations and marketplace, giving things to other family members. It's the main way we did it. Yeah, absolutely. We use marketplace primarily. I don't think we've listed anything anywhere else, and it usually goes pretty quickly. Of course, you need to price them and sell if you're in the need to get rid of stuff. You want to price them and sell, get rid of them quickly. But I've also had success on things on marketplace, leaving them on there longer and getting a nice price for them when I wasn't in a rush situation, kind of like we are now. Montana, Wyoming are awesome. We love Yellowstone and Tetons. Griswold. Yeah, there is plenty of land out there. Wyoming, we like the far western part of Wyoming. Once you get into the eastern parts, don't care for that as much. But we really like the green, mountainy, with streams type of area. And then Tennessee, there are some areas. Southern Missouri, Tennessee. There's some areas down there that have a little bit of the Ozark Mountains and some terrain to them that they have a nice clear creek. All right, so let me see what we got going on over here. I was getting a bunch of texts, make sure Chris doesn't need something over to RV. And then I'll update you on some things with the RV that I talked about recently. She's asking me opinion on what she's going to do for the area that she's painting. All right. I knew Horizons. I saw you on Facebook too. So you're on here on YouTube and Facebook. That's awesome. The Gypsy, hey, how are you? Okay, so in the RV, we had a few issues. We had one was the water pump that I diagnosed to the water pump controller. Good news, I fixed that this morning. So replaced the water pump controller. It was about a $50 part. Took me 10 minutes to replace, and now the water pump's working great. The other issue that we had was with the GFCI. I'm still diagnosing that. It works. The GFCI is fine on shore power. The GFCI has no power to it at all on generator power. So I'm thinking transfer switch, but a lot of the other stuff is working. So I don't think they have 2 transfer switches, but I'm trying to figure that out right now. But something is keeping that GFCI circuit from getting any power supplied to that GFCI when it's on generator. So if anybody has any feedback on that, I would love to hear it. Other than that, most of the stuff we're doing with the RV is cosmetic, and we will have some pictures of that pretty soon. All right. And like I said, if anybody has any information on selling everything, moving, that type of stuff, obviously we're doing all the change of addresses. We looked into South Dakota, Texas, or areas to do our residency. But since we're looking for property in Tennessee, we're not sure how long it's going to take. It may be something that's a few months, or maybe something that's a year or two. Who knows? So we didn't want to go get a South Dakota or a Texas address if we're going to end up in Tennessee. So we have a daughter that lives in Tennessee now, or has a home in Tennessee, and we also have our daughter's in-laws. So we have our son-in-law's parents basically have a property in Tennessee, actually right next to our daughter's house. And so we've used their address for our legal address for taxes, and that's where we'll license our vehicles when the time comes. And then right now we'll just be forwarding our mail to our daughter in Kentucky, because we'll probably be hanging around that area quite a bit while we're looking for property in Tennessee. And then we'll figure it all out as we go. And there's some mail services. We used UPS before. We know of other mail services that people use with success, but we're just gonna do it with our daughter right now, and avoid any of the costs, and trust that she'll just hang on to our mail, and she'll know what's important, get it to us if we are going to be gone for a long period of time. And as of right now, all of our plans for meetups, we've got a meetup with Aaron Jemison and K&R Destinations in Amana, Iowa, in just about 3 weeks or so, August 23rd. And then we have a meetup in September with some friends in North Carolina. Let's see, what area of North Carolina is that? Franklin, North Carolina. We're going to be going there for about a week or so. And then we've got another meetup in North Carolina, in Erie, North Carolina, just about 2 hours from Franklin, I believe, with a whole bunch of RVers. New Horizons is going to be there. I think there's about 40 channels, 35, 40 channels that are going to be at the Mayberry campground there in Erie, North Carolina. So we're looking forward to those meetups. Hopefully we can stay the course and get to all of those. Any other questions from the community about selling it all, packing, those types of things? I guess we'll talk about our philosophy on selling and versus storing. Mayberry Meetup is what that one's called, yes. And actually, Susan, I'm not sure if you have the ability. I think you might not have the ability to post the link, but I'll post it in the comments below on the Mayberry Meetup. There's a Facebook page you can go to for information about that. Our thoughts on storage versus selling is really kind of looking at it of, if it's something that's fairly large and going to take up a lot of room, and it's only $100 or $200, no reason to keep it, because you're going to pay for that in storage. If it's a very small item and you're going to replace it when you move in, probably keep it, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So we're getting rid of pretty much everything that's not sentimental. So anything that's not sentimental or very valuable. For example, we have a surfboard trainer that we use for exercise, and it's fairly large. It's about a $700 something unit. We actually bought it when a place went out of business right down the road, and we paid $100 for it. So we're actually going to keep that. It's a little bit larger, but it's a $700 unit, and we think probably it's not going to it's going to pay off to keep it, because it's valuable enough, even though it's a large item. Other large items, I'm not sure we've sold most everything. Okay, our bed was a good example. Our bed was $400. Our mattress upstairs, I think it might have been 500 something when we got the frame. We got one of those ones that come in a box and then they. I don't think it was purple. It was a different brand, but it was similar to that those types of beds, and we love it. But we just got it about a month ago because I guess it was about 3 months ago because before we made the decision to sell. And we decided, for that price, $400, taking up that much room in a storage, it would probably cause us to go to the next bigger storage unit, and it just wasn't worth it. We'll just replace the bed at $400 or $500 whenever we get it. Now, the good news is we sold it for $400, so we only lost maybe about $150 there with selling that. And Susan's in the process of packing and selling everything also, yes. And let's see, the Gypsy says they're going to Tennessee at the end of September. That's cool. You should check out the meetup in North Carolina. Maybe you can slide out to that Mayberry meetup. Yes, Susan, you have 2 homes to sell. You moved into a house, and now I haven't been on YouTube hardly at all lately to catch other people's lives because of the grandkid vacation. I'll be on a lot more after we get through this time, but I've kind of lost track of what everybody's doing. But I believe you guys are selling 2 houses now and going full time. So it'd be interesting to hear that story at some point. Maybe if you're available on one of the lives that we do this week with an update, we'll just bring you on and you can tell us all about what's going on with your sales process as well. That would be awesome. I don't see any additional questions. There we go. Susan says they have an Indiana home and a Tennessee home. Moved from Indiana to Tennessee, and you're selling them both. I think I heard you say that the Indiana home is sold, but you're going up there to close that out in the next couple of weeks. Tennessee home is still up for sale. Is that correct? And the one in Tennessee is a nice cabin, right? Awesome. Let's plan. I'm not sure what time, but work is pretty crazy for me tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go live on those days. I am joining. I think I'm going to try to join Daydream About Nice Things in the morning and give an update on there. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be on the Forever Best Friend and Amy McFarland. They do a pet-focused session on, I think, 1 Eastern time, maybe 2 Eastern time tomorrow, and I'll be on both of those. But my next live, most likely that I do, will be either Wednesday night or Thursday. I'll definitely do one on Thursday, probably Thursday morning. Susan, I'll connect with you and I'll get you on that one. Yep, the Gypsy, your youngest son graduates. We just took 5 of our grandkids traveling, and I know a lot of people do the RV lifestyle with kids, but wow, it is a big difference when you have kids and dogs than it is if you're just doing it by yourself or you're doing it with just pets. Having kids in school adds a whole new element to it, I'm sure. So we did talk about if we had done this early on with our kids, like right from, I think if it was done from the beginning at a very early age, it probably wouldn't be as hard. But in some cases, actually, friends of ours, their kids are, I guess, 12 and 9, and they just started about 7 weeks ago, 6 or 7 weeks ago. Mark and Tina, Our Cabin on Wheels is the name of their Facebook channel, and their kids are loving it. They're not missing friends or anything like that. So I think they've got the homeschool thing figured out. They're out in Montana looking for property out there, but they're full-time RV as well. Well, good luck on finishing up your home on Wednesday. We're actually closing up on ours on Wednesday next week as well. And immediately after that, we're putting the items that I showed you today, we're putting in storage. We're probably, right now I've got a 10 by 20 held. I haven't actually booked it yet. I don't think we're going to need a 10 by 20. We might not get down to 10 by 10, but right now I'm not seeing that much that's going in storage. So, 10 by 15 probably is going to be plenty, maybe even down to 10 by 10. So we're going to use CubeSmart. You can go online and search for these different storage places. CubeSmart has right now a promotion for 35 off. If you purchase it on the internet, you can hold it for like 7 days. And right now, CubeSmart was the lowest price. Climate controlled. We definitely want climate controlled. We don't want our stuff to get damaged from heat or cold elements there. And again, got a camera bag. I've got a gimbal for sale for the people that are on YouTube. It's a Smove gimbal, SMOVE. You can look it up. They came out last year. It's got a telescopic wand on it. It does a lot 360 and stuff like that. It's a nice gimbal. I just don't need two. And I've got this one right here, which I like better. This one is called the iMovie, IMOVIE Cinema Robot is what this one's called. And it's got a lot of features on it, but I just really like the handheld and the aspect of it. And it moves as you move. The other one has a little bit better controls as far as being able to move it yourself, but this one just moves automatically with motion. So I like this one the most. If anybody's interested in any of those things, or if you have any specific tools that you're looking for, we actually sold most of our tools or gave them away to our son-in-law. So we might have just a few of those left, but let us know. We'd like to get it in your hands. Other than that, I think that's about everything. Oh, this little file cabinet thing, file box, came with Newmar, had all the manuals in it. I actually consolidated all of our important papers and files right down into that Newmar box to save us space. So we'll share with you also as we get moving into this full-time Class A unit. We're going to be pressed for space, I'm sure. When we're doing 80% and we had a house to keep everything, we had a little bit of a luxury of not having to carry as much with us. We're going to be carrying a lot more with us now. So space savings and things like that are going to be quite important. So if you have any tips on that, we'd love to hear them. Even if you have a video, you want to email us, contact us, pauseeffect.com. Send us a link to videos that might be helpful if you've sold it all or you have space-saving ideas in your RV. All right, guys, I think that's all I have to share today. Again, we'll try to get Susan with New Horizons on Thursday. We'll probably do around, I'm not sure what my schedule is. Let me look at it real quick here. My work schedule for Thursday is pretty wide open. So probably, I would say 10:30 Central Time looks like a good time. So I will try to hook up with Susan around 10:30 Central Time. We'll come back on. We'll update you on our progress on selling everything. And we'll have Susan on to talk about her story, tell us about her cabin in Tennessee that's still for sale, and talk to us about the things she's doing, the downsize, and the reason behind the move from Indiana to Tennessee, and now the move out of the Tennessee house. Quite an adventure. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. Until next time, again, thanks for joining. One last thing I'll leave you with is we're still working on our watch hours. We've been gone on vacation for 5 or 6 weeks, so I haven't been in the lives to really interact with the people. And, again, we're not quite as active on YouTube as a lot of the other people in the community. So there's a lot of channels out there to watch. Some that come to mind are New Horizon, Bob's Adventure, Daydream About Nice Things, just hit their monetization, which was 1,000 viewers plus 4,000 watch hours. So check them out. Blue Wave Odyssey is always a good one to check out as well. Aaron Jemison is great on here. Epic RV Adventure. It's about time now. Some of our closest followers. We love everybody on the community, and we hope in the near future when we get past these 10 days that we'll have more time to watch some of your videos and attend more live. So we do pop in and say hi from time to time, and we appreciate the community very much. Thank you for joining today, and we will see you next time.